NIO phone is actually generating a ton of revenue for NIO. And it turns out a lot of NIO owners, and especially those that have more than one NIO, those guys are basically guaranteed to buy a NIO phone. And also a lot of NT 2.0 NIO owners are also buying the NIO phone because of just the added functionality. And the most surprising thing is even some people that don't own a NIO also are buying NIO phones. And the reason is simple. There's no bloatware, there's no ads. It's basically stock Android. It's one of the only companies with a stock Android phone here in China. So some people really love OnePlus for what it used to be, but now it's amazing that you can get that sort of experience on a NIO phone. So that aspect, I mean, people are buying the phones, and that has caused, of course, a shortage. NIO did not anticipate the phones to sell that well, but they were selling fantastically well. I'm seeing a lot of NIO owners with the NIO phone, and then some of the models did come back in stock for the NIO phone. It has become abundantly clear that this is the right path to go through. And the best part about it is because the phone is going to get refreshed and updated every year, there's going to be NIO Phone 2 next year. This is a recurring source of revenue for NIO. And it shows that this is the right move to go along with their own phone. And you bet that they are coming out with the NIO smartwatch. It's already been patented, so it's coming for sure. There's also the NIO headphone. There's probably also a NIO tablet, and all of this is going to add to NIO's other revenue section, which is going to be amazing. The smartwatch is very important. I think a lot of people will be buying the smartwatch as well because of it's basically the key on your wrist, right? A key on your wrist with added functionality. It's going to be amazing. And if you can control a lot of the stuff like you can now with the NIO phone, but with a watch, then that's even a bigger selling factor. Some people like me or some other NIO owners might decide to keep their iPhones and not upgrade to the NIO phone. For me personally, it's because there aren't that many functions to use with my first gen NIO, so there's not really that much of an excuse to upgrade to get the NIO phone. But you know, a smartwatch is a very different thing. The smartwatch would be like, you know, I would totally get a smartwatch if it was a NIO smartwatch. That would act as a key and maybe do like a summoning. It would be easy to summon the car forward and backwards in tight parking spots. That would be amazing. And I still get to keep my iPhone. So I think the smartwatch will be an even better seller than the NIO phone. Recently, I met up with Ting during the EC7 Nebula Red launch event here in Beijing. And Ting, he's a Model S owner. He recently took delivery of the ES6. I have a whole video dedicated to that. And he told me that he's getting the EP edition of the NIO phone. And that's going to be like his key slash his secondary phone, and he said he's going to pop his Thai SIM card into that phone, which is absolutely amazing. This all shows that the philosophy of having the car, the most expensive product, as the center of it all really makes sense, because for phones, I mean, like, phones could be easily replaced or upgraded. You might sell it next year and buy another phone, but cars, you're not really likely to sell it just after 1 year of use. So having that as the center, having the phone be a phone made for the car, is a really good selling factor. And more importantly, the level of integration is very, very nice. It's amazing. One of the really amazing things you can do with this is you can essentially duplicate your phone on the screen and basically run apps and do whatever as if you have a second phone. And this would really expand in the future when they launch tablets. And tablets, I mean, like, a lot of companies are already doing it, like Huawei, IM, Hi-Fi. They're all, you know, adding tablet integration. And what some of them they're doing is they're just adding it right here behind the front seat, and you're able to pop it in with a magnetic thing, and it attaches on, and you can take it off if you want like better view angles, but otherwise you can stick it up there and watch movies, do all sorts of stuff. And the company that does it best is of course Huawei with their amazing integration. And I think NIO is going to get there as well with their own tablets. And it's, you guys are always saying, oh my God, might be doing the wrong thing, focusing on the wrong thing. But I think getting this whole entire ecosystem up is excellent, because once we're in the ecosystem, we're unlikely to switch. And second of all, it's recurring revenue, all right? People that upgrade the NIO phone every year, that's a recurring revenue for NIO, guaranteed revenue. You're seeing this with all the big major companies because, the features that you have with the phone and the car, the integration features, that's something that cannot be copied by other guys. Some of the other companies, they like to be copycats, and just whatever feature you have, they're going to have it as well. But this, of course, you can't really do it unless you have your own phone. I would say right now Huawei is leading in terms of integration with devices, but very soon Xiaomi is launching their car as well. I just got a text from my dad today, and he said, you got to pay attention to Xiaomi's car. It's coming very soon. You got to make content about that. It's a big guy, a big guy that's stepping into the room, and Xiaomi is going to be the 100-pound gorilla. Okay. And then also a lot of other automakers are also hiring people to build phones. This is pretty crazy, right? In the future, it's going to be who has the better ecosystem and who can trap people inside their ecosystem. I don't want to say trap, but get people happily inside their ecosystem is, of course, the one that will win in the long term. And you see with the NIO phone, you can manage like as many NIOs as you want, right? It's crazy. You can control pretty much 20 plus NIOs with one phone, one key. Instead of having to carry all the different keys and not knowing which one is which, you don't have to do that anymore. You have one phone, and then it doesn't matter which car you want to get on. You can approach it and it's going to open. And as long as it's binded to your phone, you got 20 cars, whichever NIO you want to get on, approach it, it's going to open. Instead of having to carry 20 keys, which is unreasonable. That, of course, and also, fleet management. If you're in the future robo-taxis, or right now, if you're lending out the cars to friends and family, you can see everything about, where the car is, the status of the car, the charge, the tire pressure, all that kind of good stuff you can see on your phone, and essentially have access to 20 different NIOs. Expect the Q3 earnings report to show a big bump up in other revenues, especially from NIO phone. It's going to be amazing. All right, as always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.